What's good? What's good? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. All right, if you guys don't know who I am, my name's DIVIJ Vaswani. I live out here in Los Angeles. I'm right in Beverly Hills right now, and it's been a while since I started posting on YouTube. But basically, what happened was after I graduated from USC, I basically just kind of lost myself in terms of I didn't know what I was doing with my time. And I didn't know what job I was gonna work, and I was like, man, like, how am I gonna stay living in LA without taking money from my parents? You know, going through that process of graduation. And that's when I realized that, like, okay, I got my job, we're good. Now I can move to LA. I got my apartment, I live at Park La Brea. I got my car, obviously. This is a 2015 CLA 250, you know, AMG package. And it's a beauty, of course. Gorgeous, gorgeous car. Looks great inside. And yeah, I mean, it's life is great, really. Like, life is really actually amazing. Sometimes it's a little hard to believe that this is actually my reality, but at the end of the day, it is, right? So it's like, it's a blessing, but sometimes when you're going through the days, you know, you forget how lucky you really are. So anyways, enough with that shit. It's good to be back on YouTube. I'm gonna be very, very consistent with my videos now. I have to, I don't have a choice. And now I'm starting to become more self-aware. I'm starting to understand who I am as a person, that kind of thing. So, you guys probably like, what the hell does this kid do? You know, got a basic Mercedes. Again, this is nothing crazy. It's just a CLA. It is an AMG package, but it's not an S-Class, you know, but it is a great starter car for someone who just graduated college and has a job and is working and starting businesses and all that. So, basically what I do out here, man, I work in private equity consulting. My God, I thought my car was moving. I work in private equity consulting, but I also do real estate, and that's my side business. Right now I'm looking at purchasing property in San Bernardino, Bakersfield, Corona, California. And I'm really trying to get into the fix and flip game, trying to understand real estate. You know, how do you get a loan? Right now I'm going through the pre-approval process with my bank, trying to see how much property I can actually afford. And life is really great. I mean, you know, my goal is really to build up my real estate business, and then eventually, you know, from there go into entertainment and go into, you know, different verticals in my, you know, in terms of my career. But right now I feel very content with where I'm at. I feel like I'm really working as hard as I can to put myself in a good position, and you know, my job is great. I'm making good money. Family's 30-45 minutes away, so it really is a perfect situation. And again, these are probably going to be the best 5 to 10 years of my life. Actually, I disagree with that, because I'm gonna work so hard for the next 10 years that my 30s, 40s, and 50s are also gonna be amazing. So I wanna start making more real estate content and showing you guys the city of Beverly Hills and what it's like to live here, because I know there's so many of you guys out there who maybe live in, you know, India, or you live in a whole different country, and it's a whole different world, and you're probably like dreaming to come to LA. And I take that for granted, right? Like, I really do take that for granted. And I get so lost in my problems, like, oh shit, I gotta pay my rent this month, or I gotta pay my car bill this month, that I forget that I live in such an amazing community with such amazing people, and you know, I really don't take advantage of that. So it's a blessing. I'm just happy that I'm alive, and it really is just a blessing, like absolutely a blessing. I just missed my flight to Colorado with my sister, so we're about to hop on another flight going straight to Aspen. I fucked up. Say hi. Hello. So this morning, I'm about to vlog about how I fucked up. So basically, me and my sister had a flight at 6 a.m. and I was supposed to be ready by 4, or actually be at her place by 4 so that we can mob to the airport. And I ended up sleeping the whole time, so she had to literally come over, knock on the door for like an hour and a half, and my roommate opens the door ass naked, and basically it's just so fucked, because like we missed our flight, we had to rebook everything, and then our next flight ended up getting delayed, so we've been at the airport for like 4 hours, and it's just a whole mess, and it's all my fault. So yeah,
I absolutely love it. Y'all crushed it. Thank you so much.
Just landed in Aspen. Such a beautiful place. It's so cold. It's so funny, when we were landing, I didn't realize that it was gonna be like literally in the middle of just like mountains, bro. I was so scared, and when I finally saw the the landing place or whatever, like I was, my heart fucking dropped, bro. Like, such a beautiful place. I wanted to actually show you guys the results from my first Shopify store and the results I got over the first 6 months of actually building up the store. Kind of give you an idea of, you know, total sales, the online store sessions that I had, returning customer rate, total orders, etc., to kind of show you guys what it's really like to take a store from the ground up and really build it over, you know, month after month after month. So I'm gonna actually pull up the actual statistics for you guys to actually go in and look at, and I'm just gonna basically talk over and kind of give you guys an idea of what kind of happened, you know, why the numbers are the way they are, that kind of thing. And if you guys enjoy this video and you get any sort of knowledge from it, feel free to, you know, comment, subscribe, and let me know what other kind of content you guys want to see, because I'm more than happy to, you know, dive in deeper if this is more kind of a general kind of conversation about, you know, the Shopify store that I had. So to give you guys some background on the actual store that I had, it was called Shop Diamond, and basically it was an e-commerce jewelry company, basically selling, you know, custom hip-hop jewelry with, you know, between the price range of, let's say, $40 up until probably about $250. So I started the store officially back in June of this year, so it's been probably around 6 months since we launched, and it was kind of a slow start in the beginning, and then it kind of picked up, you know, as I started running Facebook and Instagram ads, and then we hit a couple roadblocks in terms of, you know, our other competitors coming in and hitting us with a cease and desist letter, and just a bunch of random shit, which I'm going to get into. So to kind of give you guys, you know, an intro on the store, again, you know, I built it from scratch. It was really just pulling content from, you know, from, not from different stores, but taking inspiration from other stores and saying, okay, how can I make that, you know, better? How can I insert, you know, different keywords to get better, you know, ranking on Google? Basically, how can I differentiate myself considering the hip-hop jewelry market online is so saturated, right? So basically what I did was call the company Shop Diamond, and we probably had about 200 products online. We were shipping we were actually sourcing the product, not from China. We were actually taking it from suppliers in downtown Los Angeles, which is about 15 minutes from where I used to live. So it was actually super convenient to get the product. And the beautiful thing about it was I didn't have to order in bulk up front. I could just market the pictures, take the orders, and then every weekend I would just go to my supplier, buy the product, and ship it out. So I didn't have to put up that much initial investment. The initial problems that I really did face, though, were product quality. So being able to find a right supplier that can really provide, you know, just high quality jewelry that wasn't going to fade, wasn't going to tarnish. And, you know, the one thing I was scared about was getting chargebacks, because, you know, if you guys have ever started a Shopify store, you know that chargebacks are fucking ridiculously annoying, and they can really, really drain all of your profits if you know, if you have a lot of them, right? So initially I wasn't getting chargebacks, but over time it started happening because people started complaining that the products would tarnish. And so that was a huge problem that I was facing with, okay, how the hell do I get better product if I can't afford, you know, buying a bunch of bulk product from China, and I don't want to pay too much for the inventory up front. So, and mind you, I started this with no initial investment. It was really just me taking money from my job and dumping it back into the store and trying to just, you know, basically bootstrap it and build it from the ground up, essentially. So basically from June of 2018 up until November of this year, which was about a month ago, we did $7,322.80 in sales. Basically, that was after all of the discounts, right? So order value, you could say, was probably around $15,000 to $20,000, but, you know, with all the discount codes that I was using and trying to get as many people just to buy as possible, you know, that number obviously went down. So $7,322.80. So if you average that out over, I'd say 5 months, we were probably doing about $1,500 a month, which isn't that much, but initially to start, you know, it was a pretty good number because that's a whole nother income stream for me. So around $1,500 a month, and one of the biggest challenges I had was, you know, when I started, was tracking, obviously, my margins, tracking how much I'm actually spending on, you know, my Facebook ads, my Instagram ads, how much am I spending to actually buy the product, to ship it out. I wasn't really keeping track of those numbers. So I didn't really have an idea of whether I was really making money or not, because I was just so like loose with the numbers, which is something I've learned is super important, that you really stay on top of how much you're spending and only put money in where obviously there's going to be, you know, a return on your investment. So in that 5-6 months, we had around 16,948 online store sessions, and it really started to peak in July. If you look at the graphs, which you'll see here, It really started to peak in July when I started to dump more money into advertising, and then kind of dropped when I started to take money out, and then it peaked back up again when I dumped more into Instagram ads and that kind of thing. So the other thing is, if you look at the returning customer rate, it's about 12%, and it's not bad. It's not bad at all, but it's definitely something that could have been improved. Over the 5 months, we had 148 orders. So if you divide that by the total sales value, you're looking at divided by 148, you're looking at around $45 to $50 per order, which honestly, it's a sweet spot for e-commerce, right? You really want to keep it between $20 and $80. I think that's a real good sweet spot for e-commerce, but definitely was not enough margin. I think I probably could have priced my products a little bit higher. So that's the first kind of graph I wanted to talk about. Second graph is you look at, and these are all statistics, by the way, that you can look at within Shopify, and they really, really do come in handy. So online store conversion rate was about 0.76%, which is a bit lower than average. You want to really have that number as high as possible, 1-2%. In terms of added to cart, there was 998 sessions, 405 reached checkout, and 129 sessions converted. So 0.76%. If you look at the average order value, again, $49.48, not horrible. And the top products by unit sold kind of tells you which products. Obviously, were the top products on your website. So this kind of gave me an idea of where I should dump the money in terms of advertising. And then also you can look at, what locations are people buying from, or also what, where the people who are accessing the website, where are they from? Are they from the United States, United Kingdom, India, China, etc.? So most of my customers were obviously from the U.S. because that's where I was putting all the advertising money, focusing on states like Texas, Florida, places like Georgia, California, etc. So then, of course, most of your sessions are probably going to be mobile, considering everyone's on their fucking phones these days. Then you look at sales by traffic source. Most of my sales came from social because I was dumping in a lot of money on Instagram. I was probably spending, varied, but somewhere between $25 and $100 a day. And these were mostly just Instagram, boosted posts. I didn't dig too deep into Facebook ads, to be honest. So if you look at my store sessions, over 12,000 came from Instagram. Had a couple YouTube leads from my YouTube channel. So if you look at this, really, like Instagram had probably around 60% of all my sales. So Instagram is definitely a place that you want to go and invest money in, to really, really start the business from ground up. If you look at customer behavior, it kind of gives you an idea of how many customers reach checkout, in a certain time frame, how many sessions you had in a certain time frame, and then you look at Shopify fees. So I paid obviously $400 in subscription fees, $215 in app fees, domains $14. So that was really just the Shopify fees, and then you have to also consider shipping. You have to consider product costs, marketing costs. The store is no longer active because we did end up getting a cease and desist letter for a couple of different reasons. I'm not going to get too much into it, but basically, it was in regards to the name of the company. There was a little bit of a copyright issue, which I should have been more aware of when I started. And then there was also some content copy issues in terms of the actual content that was on our site. So we did take the website down, and now we're at a place where we're kind of taking a step back, reevaluating, and kind of seeing what the best way is to go to market, because our competitor, ShopGLD, is very strong. They've been around for quite a while, and they have a lot of influencer celebrity support. So they really do have a lot of the market share, so it's going to be really tough. But, I just basically wanted to give you an idea of what it's really like, because, I think a lot of people on YouTube, they're like, they're like, how do you make, here's how to make $50,000 a month, here's how to make $100,000 a month. But when you're, 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever, however old you are, when you're starting off, it's not going to be as easy as these people make it seem. You're going to really have to learn the game, from the ground up. So just wanted to give you guys kind of the raw look at what it's really like, at least what it was like for me to actually, start the store and build it up over 6 months. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button, follow me on Instagram. You can look at all my links down below. And if you guys have any questions or you have any thoughts, feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I'm going to be dropping another video probably in regards to Amazon FBA product research. So super excited for that one. Thanks again, guys. It's your boy DIVIJ for Swanee, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.